One of my favourite movie moments of 2019 was when they remade The Lion King, because they got rid of those stupid cartoon drawings everybody hated so much in the first one and did it properly, using real lions.
It was really impressive. If you think about how long it takes to do a David Attenborough, where the cameraman has to hide in a bush for 2 years just to film a chinchilla having a shit, to have to wait until the lions were doing the exact same thing as the cartoon lions in the original, like a shot-for-shot remake, must have taken forever. I mean, the chances of getting even one shot remote.
Some people said that it wasn't very good because they couldn't tell one lion from another, which is sort of lion racism, really. And they complained the real lions weren't as expressive as the cartoon lions. But that's not real lions' fault. For one thing, they've never been to acting school. They're just not given those opportunities. And for another thing, that's just how lions' faces work. They don't have emotion muscles. And anyway, they made up for it with all their lovely singing.
Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata.
Thing is, it looked like actual footage, but apparently they did a lot of it with CGI, which is an even more amazing achievement. I don't envy whoever had to squeeze all the real lines into those bright green leotards with ping pong balls all over them.
All the animals in it look totally real, except they don't have bum holes. So when they eat food, they can't get it out afterwards. They must just keep swelling and swelling until they burst all up the walls of that computer universe they're in. The good thing is now we've got backup copies of all these animals, so when the environment goes to shit and all the real ones die, we can still go to the zoo in VR. Literally, the only difference is going to be the bum holes, and I can live with that.
Quentin Gabachino made a new version of that film he does. It was called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was based around the Manson killings, which was this genuine tragedy in America where a load of people were murdered by these mad hippies on LSD. And it explored that by concentrating on 2 blokes who weren't there and didn't exist.
One of the murder victims was Sharon Tate. It really brought her life back to life. Like, you saw how she might have gone shopping or sort of walked about or lived next door to these 2 more interesting men.
Before the film, I didn't know anything about Sharon Tate, but afterwards, I knew even less, which is good because it means it kept a respectful distance. You know, leave Sharon Tate alone, she's dead. Except in this, where she's still alive, just standing around looking pretty in the background, not really saying much, which is what she would have wanted. Well, it might be, we'll never know. So it might as well be what she would have wanted. I mean, at least she's still working.
Some people got upset because Sharon Tate doesn't get much dialogue, but there's others who have a worse time. Like, even though the whole thing was Charles Manson's idea, he's totally overlooked. He's in one scene and he has about 2 lines. So he's the real victim here.
There was this sort of film thing called Joker. It was like a dark origin story about the actual Joker off of playing cards. That's the one card no one wants. No one even plays with it, which is probably why I felt all left behind and angry. So in many ways, it was like a sort of dark reboot of Play Your Cards Right, but with Robert De Niro instead of Bruce Forsyth. It's actually set about 40 years ago, before superhero movies were popular, which is why no one in it has heard of the Joker yet. It's quite controversial, like Joaquin Phoenix is totally appropriating clown culture in it. There's whole scenes where he's in whiteface. I mean, I know it was a different time when they shot it in 1981, but he must be mortified it's resurfaced now. He'll probably never get cast in anything ever again.
The film contains, quote, brutal violence and overall bad vibes.
Even though it's a sort of superhero film with a clown in it, it's not for kids. I mean, if I wanted my kids to watch one man's painful descent into total grinding despair, I'd still be living at home.
Just before the film came out, the news in America was full of these concerned reports read out by frowning, handsome people, going on and on about how it might inspire a massacre. A bit like they secretly wanted that to happen.
Tonight, amidst concern that the new Joker movie could be used as an excuse for a mass shooting.
To be fair, in America, you don't have to go to the movies to see a mass shooting anyway. You can just look out the window, or go to a shopping mall, or a school, or a church, or a restaurant, or to your own workplace, or a nightclub, or an ice rink. Actually, have they done one in an ice rink yet? You could just keep me saying that in anyway, because they will have by the time this goes out.